Hello, financial fans. Another down week. Really messed up market right now for those of us who are investing, hoping for the stock market to go up. As of the year to date, my portfolio as of the year to date, what is today? 10/7, I believe, October 7th of 2022, I believe, is the year we're in at this moment, and my portfolio is down 19.57% year to date. I still think it's going to move upwards from here. SPY, Spiders, the S&P 500 index is down 19.66% year to date, so it's down a little farther than myself, but we're practically in a tie there. Diamonds, the Dow 30 industrial stocks, year to date down 15.44%, and that's the best of any of the four indexes. I keep track of three indexes in my own portfolio. And the NASDAQ down 18.45% for the year to date, so it also is beating my portfolio and the S&P 500. But we shall see what happens as the year progresses. And what I'm going to do is mention some of my stocks that pay dividends. Some of them pay pretty high dividends, and if you're going to be like me waiting for things to turn around, and I'm ready to wait till 2024 if that becomes necessary. But some of my stocks pay pretty good dividends while I sit back and wait for the economy to improve. And I have 74 total stocks and ETFs, exchange traded funds that trade like stocks. 74 total. I do not keep I don't have the exchange traded funds in this list that I'm giving you as far as the dividend that they pay, because they don't really pay dividends the way a stock does. So the stocks I'm going to tell you about, and I have several stocks, a lot of stocks actually, that don't pay dividends, and some that pay small dividends, and some that pay pretty big dividends. But just for those of you who are interested in some stocks that pay dividends that you might want to look into and see if that would fit into your portfolio, I'll begin with AGNC, which is an REIT. It's a REIT, a Real Estate Investment Trust. AGNC pays a dividend of 17.56%. ARCC pays a dividend of 9.66%. ASX pays a dividend of 8.59%. BIG, which is Big Lots, the retail outlet Big Lots BIG, pays a dividend of 6.88%. BP, which used to stand for British Petroleum, but now it just stands for BP, is right now paying 4.63%. And the higher the price of oil goes and the higher the price of BP stock goes, the lower that dividend payout becomes, but still you make profit on buying and selling. BTG is is paying 4.73% dividend, and these numbers will change a percentage point or two this way or that way as the market settles. The price has a closing price at the stock market, and then it goes up or down depending on what's going on in other time zones, other markets. But okay, BTG 4.73. BTI, that's British American Tobacco, and it has been a pretty good performer for the past 5 years or so. BTI has a dividend of 7.71%. Citigroup has a dividend of 4.74%. CAG, which is ConAgra, they had some good news actually this week, and it was received and processed as bad news, and so I think CAG is probably a stock to look at. It's probably going to be going up in the coming week or month anyway. 4.05% is the dividend CAG pays. CHY pays a dividend of 10.84%. CIG pays a dividend of 12.94%. CIM pays a dividend of 16.82%. Dow, that's the chemical DOW, Dow pays a dividend of 6.15%. ENLC pays a dividend of 4.49%. ET pays a dividend of 7.97%. F is Ford Motor Company. It looks like it could be a buy right now. 4.85% dividend from Ford. GILD, that's Gilead, 4.5% dividend. General Motors pays 1.04%. ITUB pays a dividend of 2.71%. KEY pays a dividend of 4.69%. I own all of these stocks, and these are the rates of dividends they pay. MFC pays a dividend of 6.29%. MO, that's Altria. MO is a company called Altria. They make cigarettes, and they pay a dividend of 8.75%, and they are a very good performing stock through the worst of times. NLY pays a dividend of 21.09%. NRG, which is Energy, NRG pays a dividend of 3.41%. NVS pays a dividend of 4.37%. NYCB pays a dividend of 7.76%. OGN pays a dividend of 4.52%. OMF, that's what you say when you fall down, you go oomph. OMF pays a dividend of 11.63%. PAGP pays a dividend of 7.30%. Paramount, my old employer, PARA is the symbol. Paramount pays a dividend of 5% right now. PBR has been doing well, pays a dividend of 43.44%. Now whether or not it will pay that amount in the future, we'll find out, but that's what the numbers are saying right at this moment. PM is another cigarette stock. That stands for Philip Morris. 5.94% dividend. QCOM pays a dividend of 2.39%. Some of these low dividend paying stocks do well as far as going up in value, and some don't. RTX, Raytheon, pays a dividend right now of 2.61%. When there's bad news on the war front, Raytheon has a tendency to go up. SBSW pays a dividend of 8.08%. We have not yet heard the highest dividend number. SID is 15.18%. SMFG pays a dividend of 5.97%, just about 6%. And TEF pays a dividend of 13.61%. UMC pays a dividend of 13.16%. VALE pays a dividend of 9.73%. VTRS pays a dividend of 5.37%. VZ, Verizon, pays a dividend of 6.9%. We're getting toward the end of the alphabet. What could it be? X, United States Steel, pays a dividend of 1.02%. XOM, ExxonMobil, oil stock, that will be going up in value, therefore the dividend number will be going down. It will be the same amount, but the percentage will go down. XOM, ExxonMobil, pays 3.45% dividend. XRX pays a dividend of 6.8%. The stock that pays the highest, that has paid the highest dividend, the stock that has the number that shows that it pays the highest dividend, ZIM. Check it out, see what you think. ZIM. The dividend is 109.27%. So those are my dividend paying stocks, and some of them have reasonably high numbers, and I do get a lot of dividend payments in my brokerage account. We'll now look at some stocks to consider. We'll begin with BTI, that's British American Tobacco. And by the way, all these stocks I'm going to be mentioning I do own. British American Tobacco, BTI. Column on the left, 2/3 of the way down, 52-week range, $33.62 was the low, $47.24 was the high. So it's definitely closer to the low than the high. But the average volume, 2,609,000 shares trade every day. And this stock is considered to be near fair value. The PE ratio, 13.79, not as low as I'd like, but it's still a low PE ratio. Earnings per share, $2.67, and they're paying out a little bit more than that in the forward dividend yield. They're paying out $2.96, which comes to 8.09%. And the 1-year target, $53.70. That would be a big move upwards. Next, we're going to look at Ford, symbol F, Ford Motor Company, $12.20. And by the way, the price of BTI was $36.81 at closing and $36.81 later on per share. Ford is $12.20 was the closing price, and it stayed at that closing price. The 52-week range for Ford, $10.61 was the low the past 52 weeks, and $25.87 was the high. So it was at one time in the past 52 weeks, it was about twice as valuable as it is right now per share. Average volume, 68 million shares trade every day, and this stock is considered to be undervalued. PE ratio, 4.22. That is a bargain basement price for Ford. The earnings per share, $2.89, and the forward dividend, they're only using 60 cents to get a 4.8 dividend, 4.8%. The 1-year target, $15.75. $15.75 would be a good move upwards for Ford. Next, we look at Sibanye Stillwater Limited, SBSW. $9.70 shares closing price, but it moved up after hours to $9.85. 52-week range, $8 was the low and $20.64 was the high, so it's closer to the low than it is to the high. Got a lot of headroom. And the average volume, 3,200,000 shares trade every day. This stock is considered to be overvalued. The PE ratio, 5.95. That's a good PE ratio, under 10 for sure. Forward dividend, 62 cents from a earnings of $1.63. They got that covered nicely. 6.13% dividend being paid. And the 1-year target, $14.73 for SBSW. Next, we look at the Big Bertha of the dividend paying stocks that I own. ZIM, Z-I-M, closed at $24 per share, down 80 cents on the day, down 3%. And after hours it continued going down to $23.90. 52-week range, $22.78 was the low, so we're very near to the low, and $91.23 was the high. Average volume, 4.5 million shares trade every day, and this stock is considered to be undervalued. PE ratio, 0.46, not even a 1. So that is a very, very, very low PE ratio. Forward dividend and yield, the forward dividend $27.10 from an earnings per share of $51.72, comes out to 108.10%, and the 1 year target estimate $50.65. That just looks too good to be true. It's like being in a candy store or something. But those are 4 stocks that you might consider if you happen to be in a buying mood anytime soon, and I thank you very much for watching.